Hey guys, I just pulled up to the gym to do my cardio, but first I wanted to check in with you. It's officially under 100 days and it's about 14 weeks out from my next competition. So right now everything is the same. My diet, training, and supplementation are all the same as last 2 weeks. Now the main difference is that this weekend I do not get a cheat meal. My coach thinks it's best that we forego that, and I agree with him because right now my metabolism is in check. The diet's going great, everything's working, so I don't necessarily need it. I have had a weekly cheat meal all year long, so it was a little bit of a bummer because I love to eat. That's probably one of my favorite pastimes, and I can put away some food. I love to taste new things, so I've gotten to be a little bit more creative with my diet recipes this week just to kind of satisfy those cravings for certain flavors. But I do have questions from you guys about why to do a cheat meal or what a cheat meal consists of. I believe that part of the reason that you should do a cheat meal is, mostly psychological. I think it's easier that if you can say, no, I don't need those donuts that someone brought in the office on Tuesday morning because I get my cheat meal on Friday. And if you kind of build that up and you get excited about that, then you may be less likely to cheat throughout the week instead of if you were on some indefinite diet plan and there was no end in sight or no breaks. So I do believe that it helps with your mental performance with sticking to your diet and being disciplined. Another major reason to do a cheat meal is to sort of reset your metabolism. Even if you're eating very clean, eventually your body will get used to that and it'll start to sort of predict what to do next. So think of it more of like a bonus. If you got a really big surprise bonus paycheck in your account, you would probably go out and spend more money, right? So same thing works if you do that with your body and calories. If you get it, give a little bit more calories and food to your body, then it's going to process that and it's going to expend more calories because you gave it more calories. So if you cut down really far on your calories and you keep it really tight, think of how that would feel if you had a small amount in your bank account. You're going to become very conservative and you're not going to want to spend money and you're going to try to save it and hang on to it. So your body will work the same way with body fat and energy. So it's a good idea to kind of give it a boost once in a while. Depending on your diet and your training and how you respond to certain foods, that I think determines the answer of, well, what should I do for a cheat meal? Some people do great with 2-hour cheat meals and where you can just say, okay, go eat anything that you want to just to satisfy the cravings. And some people like pizza and burgers and, cake, whatever. Some people do better if you put give them a longer span of time, but tell them exactly what to eat. So somewhere between 6 and 4 hours may be better if you can sort of plan that with the appropriate macronutrients to make sure that you're still in good balance and that you're eating clean foods and good choices. So I would say for a cheat meal, you would have to find out what works best for you in that way without going overboard. I also want to make the distinction between a cheat meal and a refeed or a carb load. You may have heard those terms. That's something a little bit different. It's very, very structured. It's prescribed to the athlete based on their training and their lean muscle mass and to see how much glycogen your body can hold. So all of that is calculated out into grams of carbs and paired with the right amount of fat because you don't want to have too high carbs and fat. You want to pick one or the other. So generally higher carb, that's a little bit different. That can last anywhere between 12 and 48 hours, again, depending on the athlete's training. So don't get those confused. Don't do a 24-hour cheat meal or cheat day. I promise you that will not help you in any way. So unless it's post-contest or your metabolism extremely high and you're in great condition, I would say limit yourself and put a cap on it and just ask yourself, am I satisfied? And did I get every flavor that I wanted to just in this sitting? And don't just keep eating just because you can or because it's there. So that takes some practice and some discipline. So if you don't get it right the first time, that's okay. But in order to make progress and not become stagnant and maintain where you're at, you do want to create somewhat of a deficit. So you can boost your calories up on your cheat meal and then return back to normal as soon as possible. Also, choosing the right foods is very important. Some people respond just fine to high glycemic foods. Again, low fat, so things like bagels or pastas. Some people do great with that, some people don't. And sometimes that can trigger a domino effect of cravings. You know, if I have something sweet, generally over the next few hours, my cravings for things that are sweet will get worse. So what I've done and what I've decided to do for this competition prep, now that I'm within 16 weeks, is to, instead of choose things that are high in sugar, I'm going to go for things that are more fruit-based, or things that are more flavorful but whole foods without any, as little additives as I can get away with, just so that I don't trigger worse cravings for things that are really salty or really sugary. So I want to keep it pretty plain. Hopefully I'll have something to post for you guys in a couple of weeks of what we decide to do with my cheat meal, but in general, just know that it's for replenishment and to boost your metabolism, and maybe give you some ease psychologically within your diet so that you don't fall into the pitfalls of you making the wrong choices early in the week or every few days, and they have to be used appropriately. So I'll probably post something about cheat meals on my training page this week about what to do and how to use them. So check back at facebook.com/onthegrindtraining. You can also follow my personal page, Autumn Cleveland Figure Athlete, and you can find me on Instagram at Autumn Ninja. So thanks for watching, and I'll have more for you soon.